Hi everyone, I'm Mr. ZAMIR, and for today I will be presenting on CEFR Align SPM for listening paper code 1119/4. There will be two parts of this video, and this video is the first part of it. Okay, so in this video we are going to cover the overview of SPM listening paper code 1119/4, and we are going to look at some of the approach to tackle the listening task, and we are going to look into detail for the first two parts of this paper, which are part 1 and part 2. The curriculum standard for the listening task would be from 1.1 and 1.2. Understand meaning and a variety of familiar context, 1.1, and use appropriate listening strategies in a variety of contexts, 1.2. While the learning standard would be the testing focus for these two parts, part 1 and part 2. Some of the learning standards are 1.1.1, 1.1.2, 1.1.3, 1.1.6, and 1.2.1. Okay, so all of these learning standards will be tested in the listening task. Okay, so the objective of this video are to familiarize students with the structure of SPM listening 1119/4, since this is the new format for SPM this year, and analyze the task requirement and fulfillment for each section, and also assist students in approaching the listening task. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to look is an overview of the listening paper. So the listening paper is the fourth component that is being tested, other than reading, writing, and speaking. So the code for this paper is 1119/4, since this is the fourth skill or the fourth paper that you are going to sit. The timing for this paper is around 40 minutes. The total marks is 30 marks, and there are 4 test parts which consist multiple choice questions and short answer questions. There are 7 multiple choice questions for part 1, where you have options A, B, and C. There are 8 multiple choice questions with option A, B, and C for part 2, while for part 3 you have 5 multiple choice questions when the options given are A until G, and for part 4 you have 10 short answer question which requires you to give one word response or one word answer. So the weighting of this paper is 25% of overall candidate grade. So the other 75% would be taken from the other 3 components of your test papers, which are reading, speaking, and writing. Okay, so basically the overall look of the paper is question 1 until 7 objective A, B, or C. Question 8 until 15 objective A, B, or C, And then question 16 until 20 objective, okay, where you have 7 option, option A until G. And for question 21 until 30, okay, there is short answer or one word response. So these are the 30 marks or 30 questions for your listening paper. Okay, now we are going to look at, okay, how we are going to approach the task during the listening test. Okay, there are 3 steps that I would like to share with all of you. So the first step is during pre-listening. Okay, pre-listening means before the audio is played. Okay, before the audio is played, before you listen to the audio, please get an overview of the text. Okay, take a glimpse of the questions to get an idea on what the text is about. And for the second step, okay, which is the first listening. Okay, remember, during your listening task, the audio is being played twice. Okay, so you get 2 chance to listen to the audio. For the first listening, listen for specific information. Okay, you listen for the information that is required by the question. And for the second listening, the second time the audio is played, okay, this is where you get your missing information or answers. Okay, so this is also a good time for you to confirm your answer earlier. Okay, so make sure, okay, you use these 3 steps, okay, during the listening task to ensure you get the required information correctly. Okay, so now we are going to look in detail part by part of the listening paper. Okay, for part 1, okay, for part 1, there are 7 3-option multiple choice question where you are given short unrelated dialogues or monologues. So each audio is related to each question. Since you have 7 questions here, it means that you also have 7 audios for this part. Okay, so 1 audio for 1 question. Okay, so what is being tested? So the testing focus for this part is the test. It want to test you whether you are able to understand specific details, understand main ideas, understand specific informations and detail, and recognize independently attitudes or opinions. So all of these learning standards, okay, would be tested in this part. Okay, here are 2 of the questions from part 1 as sample tasks. Please remember that there are 7 questions altogether for this part. But for today, we are going to look at these 2 questions first for practice. Please take a few seconds to look at the questions. Okay, so here are the scripts for the first two questions earlier. Okay, during your listening task, okay, you are not going to get this script, okay, because it is a listening test and you are only able to listen to the audio. Okay, but for practice for today, okay, while you're watching this video, okay, we are going to use this script, okay, to work together with the audio to interpret the questions, okay, for this task in detail. Okay, so take your time, okay, read the script while listening to the audio.
Part 1. You will hear people talking in 7 different situations. For questions 1 to 7, choose the correct answer, A, B, or C. You will hear each recording twice. Answer all the questions. 1. You hear a man talking about eating habits.
Young people nowadays have bad eating habits. They drink coffee in the mornings and during breaks instead of water. They eat bread or biscuits for breakfast and unhealthy snacks in the afternoon. Their heaviest meal is in the evening after work. This is the opposite of what I was taught, which is to have a heavy breakfast and a light dinner to keep my digestive system healthy.
Okay, so during the test, okay, you are going to listen to this audio twice. Okay, but in this video we are only going to listen it once. Okay, then we are going to proceed with the second audio for question number 2. Okay, please read the script while listen to the audio.
2. You hear a teenage boy talking about his MP3 player.
Well, my new MP3 player has a problem. It was fine at first, but the problem started on the second day. While a song was playing, it stopped halfway and jumped to the next song. When I tried to stop the second song, it went back to the first song. The song files are fine, so the problem is with the player, not the songs.
Okay, so now take some time to choose the answer for question 1 and 2. Okay, for question 1, the answer is C. Making breakfast the biggest meal of the day. Okay, so in the audio, okay, options A and B is mentioned. Sorry, option A and B are mentioned. Drinking coffee instead of water and having the heaviest meal in the evening. However, they are not what the speaker thought. They are the thoughts of the young people, not the speaker in the audio. So what the speaker think is making breakfast is the biggest meal of the day. Okay, so C is the answer for question 1. For question 2, the answer is C. it jumps from one song to another. So the question asks, what is the problem with the MP3 player? So in the audio, okay, from the audio we can already cross options B, okay, as it never mentioned that it stops playing after the first song. Okay, however, option A is mentioned in the audio. It repeats the first song. Okay, but why option A is not the answer is because, okay, the problem with repeating the first song, okay, is due to the action of the speaker who try to stop the song, since the songs jumps from one song to another. Okay, so the problem that the speaker face, okay, is not the MP3 player repeats the first song, but C, because it jumps from one song to another. Okay, right. So now we are going to move on part 2. Okay, so for this part there are 3 options multiple choice questions. Okay, the difference between this part and part 1 earlier is, for this part, okay, all these 8 questions will be using one longer narrative or informational monologues, okay, with around 350 to 400 words. Okay, so the test focus are, okay, to test the students whether they are able to understand main ideas, specific information, recognize attitudes or opinion, okay, understand more complex narrative, and guess the meaning of words from clues provided. Okay, so these are 2 sample tasks. These are 2 questions for tasks in part 2. Please take a few seconds to look at the question. Okay, so this is the sample script for this task. Okay, so please, okay, read the script, okay, while listen to the audio.
Part 2. You will hear Jason talking about his experience surviving a flood. For questions 8 to 15, circle the correct answer, A, B, or C. You will hear the recording twice. Answer all the questions.
It was the 23rd of December, and I was driving home from Kota Baru after attending a friend's wedding celebration. The weather had been extremely wet, with thunderstorms and torrential rain over the past few days. As I was driving, the news on the radio alerted me to the rising water levels, which were already alarmingly high. However, I continued my journey, hoping to reach my home in Kelantan as soon as I could. Unfortunately, there was soon so much water on the road that I could go no further. There was nothing but fast rising water ahead and behind me. I had to abandon my car there.
Okay, so in this video, okay, you will have only parts of the audio. So the total number of words for the audio should be around 350 to 400 words. Okay, so here are the 2 questions earlier. Okay, I give you some time, okay, to choose the answer for these 2 questions. Okay, so for question 8, the answer is C. Okay, he was attending a wedding. Okay, the question asks, why was Jason in Kota Baru? Okay, at that time. Okay, option A, he was getting married. Okay, it's not the answer. Okay, because it is not him, okay, who is getting married, but his friends. Okay, he was visiting as his family. No. Okay, he was there to attend his friend's wedding. Okay, as mentioned in the audio. So for question 8, okay, option C is clearly the answer here. Okay, for question 9, the answer is B. He wanted to reach his home. So the question asks you, what did Jason want to do after hearing the news on the radio? Okay, does he want to find shelter, want to reach his home, or want to contact his family? Okay, in the audio it mentioned that, okay, after listening to the news regarding flood on the radio, Jason continued his journey to reach his home. Okay, so he was hoping that, okay, he would be able to reach his home in time to avoid the flood. Okay, so the answer for number 9 is option B. Okay, so basically, okay, we have covered the overview of the SPM listening paper, and we have gone in detail, okay, for part 1 and part 2 of the listening task. Okay, and there will be another part of this video. Okay, please make sure that you watch that video as a continuation for this video. That's all from me. Thank you.